Hey everyone, and welcome back to Spine Chilling Stories. I am Muiz, your host for today's episode. We are diving into terrifying tales that will make you want to sleep with the lights on. Tonight, we are joined by four of the hottest guests, Izati, Hanim, Afifi, and Hani, to share with us each of their most spine chilling encounters with the unknown. Wait, but before we start, how about we say our tagline and cue the intro? Three, two, one.
Ooh,
Ooh,
can you
can
hear
you
us?
hear us?
Alright, are you guys ready to tell some spooky stories?
I have always been ready. I believe scary stories are more than just stories. Some of them have actually happened.
You might be right, but I tend to think there's always a logical explanation.
Well, after you hear my story, I think you will change your mind.
I already feel nervous and we haven't even started yet.
This happened to my cousin last year. He was working late at the hospital when he heard a woman crying in the hallway. Thinking it was a patient, he went to check. But when he got there, the hallway was completely empty. At first, he thought maybe the sound was coming from another room. So he checked every corner, even the storage closet. Nothing. The crying had stopped, but the air felt heavy, like something was still there.
Creepy. Was it a ghost?
Maybe the security guard told him that a woman had died there months ago. People have been hearing her cries ever since. The guard said she was a young nurse who passed away suddenly, and some believe her spirit lingers because she never got to say goodbye to her family. My cousin quit his job soon after. He couldn't shake the feeling of being watched every night.
Or maybe someone was playing a prank.
You can't explain everything, Hanim. Some things can't be understood with logic.
If I had been there, I would have peed my pants.
Afifi, you have got that look in your eyes, like you're holding back another nightmare. Don't leave us hanging. What's the story?
Alright, but don't blame me if you can't sleep tonight. This one's about my uncle, a nurse who worked the night shift at a psychiatric hospital back in the 90s. The place had a wing that was sealed off, patient transferred, doors locked. But one night, during his rounds, he saw someone sitting in a chair in the abandoned hallway.
Why does this already sound like a bad idea?
The man was wearing old hospital clothes, just staring at the wall. My uncle thought maybe a patient had wandered in, so he called out, "Sir, you shouldn't be here." The man turned his head slowly and said, "They left me behind."
Nope. Oh no.
My uncle ran to get help, but when security came back, the chair was empty, and the door still chained shut from the outside. Layers of dust on the handle. Later, he checked the records. Turns out a patient died in that wing decades ago. Left alone during a fire, no one ever moved his body.
So the ghost just waits there?
Worse, after that night, my uncle kept hearing scratches on his front door at 3 a.m. Some voice whispering, "You saw me." He moved cities, but last I heard, He still wakes up to the sound of a chair creaking in the dark.
Afifi, I swear, you are the reason this podcast need a therapist on standby.
Hey, you asked for a scary stories.
Okay, mine happened when I was staying at my grandmother's house. One night, I was combing my hair in front of an old mirror, and suddenly I saw someone behind me. When I turned around, there was no one there.
Classic horror movie moment.
I wouldn't have believed it, but my mom said the same thing had also happened to her. We now refuse to use that mirror.
Mirrors are portals, some people say. To see something in them means it might have crossed over.
But are you sure you weren't imagining it? Mirrors and lighting can create illusions. Or maybe it was just your shadow.
It could have been caused by something spiritual. Who knows?
I get another story as well. One time, around 2 a.m., I was scrolling through old photos on my phone when I saw one picture I didn't remember taking. It showed me sleeping in bed, taken from the foot of the bed. When I checked the photo details, it said it was taken today, 3:12 a.m., but it was 2:47 a.m. at that time. My hands shook and I was so scared. I checked my bedroom door, it was locked, windows shut, curtains drawn. I told my mom about it and she deleted that photo, bought me a new phone. Till today, it's a mystery to me.
Oh no, I'm starting to get the chills.
No answer till today?
Nope.
Years ago, I went hiking with friends. We were walking through a forest when we heard whispers like someone was calling our name. We thought we were just tired, not until we got back and listened to the recording from the hike. You can clearly hear a voice whispering, "Leave."
No way. That had to be fake.
I knew you would say that. I'll show you the recording as proof.
I just got goosebumps.
I swear, none of us had edited the recording. That moment has haunted me ever since.
If I were you, I wouldn't have gone back to that forest ever again.
Maybe it was a warning. You could have been followed.
Okay, Zati. You have already spooked us with another forest whisper. What else have you got?
This one, it's the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me, but unfortunately, I can't prove it since I deleted the photo that very night. It happened about 2 years ago. A close family friend had passed away, and my family attended the funeral. It was a quiet village ceremony, very respectful, nothing unusual. I was snapping a few photos of the scenery and people for the family just to keep as memories.
You took photos at the funeral?
Just from a distance, not of the body or anything disrespectful, mostly of the guests, the flowers, and the tent area. Anyway, that night I was going through the photos and one of them stopped me cold. It was a picture of the coffin before the burial. But if you zoom in, there's a woman standing behind the coffin, dressed in black, pale, staring directly into the camera.
Okay, that's not that weird. Maybe just a guess?
That's what I thought. So I showed the photo to my mom, asked her who the woman was. She looked at me and went pale. Then she said, "That's the woman who died. That's the one we just buried."
No, no, bye. No.
But lying. That's got to be an editing glitch or something.
I swear on everything. We even showed it to the family. They confirmed it. The clothes were exactly what she was buried in. Same necklace, same everything. And she was smiling, just faintly, like she knew.
No, no, no. She photobombed her own funeral.
And here's the thing, no one saw her there in person. She only appeared in one photo. Not in any other angles, not on video, not in the background of anything else.
That is a full-on ghost cameo. I've got goosebumps.
I deleted it the same night. I didn't want her following me home.
Wise move. If that was me, I would move houses, change names, and everything.
How about you, Hanim? Have you ever experienced something you couldn't explain?
Yeah, definitely. So, this happened 2 years ago when I was staying at my aunt's house during semester break.
Ooh, this sounds promising. What happened next?
The room I slept in had a window that looked directly into the backyard. One night, I was reading when I felt like someone was watching me. I looked out the window and saw a man just standing there, not moving an inch, just watching, staring.
Nope, I would have passed out. No, I would have passed out immediately.
Here's the thing, I ran to get my aunt, but when we returned, no one was there. We searched the yard, but it was completely empty. Later, my cousin told me something that still gives me chills.
What did your cousin say?
He said the room I was in used to belong to a man who was killed brutally by his wife because he was having an affair. And sometimes, people have claimed to see him standing at the window, like he was looking for something. I wouldn't have believed it if I had not seen it myself. Honestly, if someone had told me this story, I would have laughed. But that night, I couldn't sleep a wink.
So, even Hanim has had a spine-chilling moment. It just goes to show the scariest thing is not what we can explain, but what we can't.
I heard you've got another bone-chilling story up your sleeves, Hanim. You've already given us the chills once. How are you going to top the previous story?
I bet you guys aren't ready for my second story. This is going to be one roller coaster of a ride. Basically, this happened a few years ago, and I was with my friend Nurain. We both were volunteering at an old folks' home during school break. One of the nurses had specifically told us not to enter room number 40 as it was under renovation.
So, naturally, you two went in?
Of course we did. Nurain wanted to explore the room. She said it would be fun if we'd just take a peek inside and go about our day. So we did just that. But as we entered the room, it was dark and freezing cold. There was an old metal bed in the corner. As I was about to tell her we should leave, the door then slammed shut behind us. We tried opening the door, but it was locked from the outside. We banged and shouted for help until our throats hurt, although to no avail. Suddenly, we heard someone breathing right behind us.
No way. No way.
We froze instantly. There was no one else in the room besides us, but we both heard it loud and clear. We were too frightened to even move.
Oh my god, then what happened next?
Eventually, one of the staff unlocked the door and saw us looking terrified for our lives. She asked if we had seen her.
Wait, what does she mean? Who's her?
Exactly. That's what I wanted to know. But the staff member refused to speak more about it. She just said that we should never go into the room ever again.
I wouldn't even look at that door again.
Yeah, we never went near it again. We definitely learned our lesson that day. Honestly, I may not believe in ghosts, but hearing your stories has given me goosebumps.
That's the thing. Whether we believe or not, fear is something that connects us all.
And storytelling helps us make sense of the unknown.
I'm just glad we are recording this in the dark.
Same here. Well, thank you everyone for joining tonight. And listeners, remember, if you ever hear a whisper in the woods or see something move in the mirror, it might not be your imagination.
Good night,
Good
horror
night, horror
enjoyers.
enjoyers, and sleep tight.
Night.